The employees were told to evacuate the building and meet in a parking lot down the street. Now the problem was, on a cold, windy March morning, they didn't even have time to grab a coat. You can see the task force website already has a section for schools, but they'll soon create an online forum just for school resource officers. Custom Classics Body Shop donated about $1,200 worth of service for the car, which includes Kevlar panels and additional LED lights for safety. While state budget cuts and the loss of 3 sports teams has negatively affected students' morale, it has done one positive thing. That's brought students together with one common goal: to fight for their education. The Postal Service says it's consolidating mail processing and distribution operations from this facility to its facility outside of Harrisburg in Dauphin County. It's not too early to look for standing water on your property that might produce mosquitoes. Take this pan, for example. If you have it, just dump it out. The National Weather Service hopes that the new warning language will help people take necessary precautions before it's too late. I'm Gardner Reed in Harrisburg, and we'll give you more on exactly what he'd like to see in a moment. I'm Gardner Reed in Lancaster. We'll take you inside this home to show you what to look for.
We can do that next.
It's Valentine's Day at East Petersburg Elementary in Lancaster County. As you might expect, students are busy making valentines. But there's one part of this classroom celebration that's different from what you might remember from your days in school.
Instead of sending in maybe that sweet treat, there's something else special that a parent may send in place of it.
Heart-shaped donuts are now joined by healthier options like pretzels and fruit. The school's principal says starting at the beginning of the year, they changed the rules for holiday parties and in-class birthdays.
What we've done is we've created kind of that balance whereby we have a healthy snack, a sweet snack, and a salty snack.
The new policy does take some getting used to. Many parents have fond memories of class parties centered around sweets.
You think about your class parties and the big cupcakes and the cookies that came in and things. You kind of have to realize that times change and we know more about health and nutrition now.
In fact, some parents have decided to avoid snacks altogether, sending along small gifts, like bookmarks or erasers, for the entire class instead.
Parents have gotten very creative and still celebrating their children on their birthdays, but it has reduced our classroom disruptions in terms of sweet treats taking up a large portion of our time.
I think it's a good thing to teach kids that socializing and having a fun time doesn't always have to represent overindulging in things that aren't necessarily healthy for you.
Learning to love Valentine's Day in a different way. In Lancaster County, Gardner Reed, News 8. St. James Episcopal Church is celebrating the new technology that will add life to the neighborhood.
We are now able, with lighting technology changing as it has, to make this beautiful church available in the dark to those outside as well as during the daytime inside.
The lights are a part of a project that the congregation has been planning for about 10 years.
The whole campus-wide project at the moment is a $2 million project, very generously supported by the congregation.
The beauty and the craftsmanship of these stained glass windows used to only be visible from the inside, but thanks to these new lights, you'll be able to see them at night from the sidewalk.
The issue is, how do we make downtown, with all of its growth and vibrancy of the last decade or so, better accessible to people? And better than a street light is the glorious light of a stained glass window pouring onto a sidewalk, which we'll have from here on out.
Some hope the new lights will provide an outlet to reach more people.
It's a terrific opportunity to do what we do inside church all the time, which is try by our lives to put our lamp on a lampstand.
In Lancaster, Gardner Reed, News 8. People who live in Ephrata's Brookfield Estates never had much to complain about before. That is until new owners announced big changes.
Neighbors that get along with great around here. The landlord's a different story.
According to new rules for the community, some homeowners have to install peaked roofs and vinyl siding, and the mandate has some worried if they can afford to stay.
My mom gave me the trailer because she wanted to make sure I always had a place to live.
Some residents who have lived here for decades feel that the new owners aren't leaving them with many options, except to move off the property.
A lot of them just gave up their trailers and moved out.
But for some, leaving is not an option.
I would love to be able to keep the trailer here. I mean, I think it's a nice community. The people in it are nice. It's just everybody's scared right now and angry.
not knowing what the future holds for them or their homes.
I don't know how it's going to turn out.
In Lancaster County, Gardner Reed, News 8.